The shift in perspective. Since COVID, a lot has changed. The world isn't the same, and let's be honest, it hasn't exactly changed for the better. Everything feels dull, like the color has drained out of life. And somewhere along the way, we did too. We lost that spark, that drive. And if you're being real with yourself, you probably feel it too. Every new year, we hear the same thing: this is my year, for real this time. But it wasn't. Not in 2023. Not in 2024. And it won't be in 2025 either, unless you make it happen. So give me a minute of your time, and I'll make sure you lock in for 2025. But just a heads up, I'm not here to motivate you. Motivation is like a sugar rush, and I'm not in the business of selling candy. I'm here to give you the tools, the mindset shift, and the reality check you need to actually make this your year. Now, I'm not saying you haven't been trying. I know you have, at least, you think you have. Maybe you started a bulking plan but gave up after 2 weeks because life got busy. Or you set goals so vague they were easy to ignore. I want to be better. Better at what? Breathing? You've been doing that since birth. Here's the truth: trying isn't enough. If you're half-assing it, you're not failing because life is unfair, though yeah, sometimes it is. You're failing because you're waiting for life to magically align with your energy. But that's not how it works. You have to align yourself with your goals. And to do that, you need to start with what matters most: your time. Time management and utilization. You're probably used to saying, "I don't have time." That's funny, because you had time to scroll TikTok for 3 hours yesterday. You had time to rewatch the same show for the 4th time because, let's be real, it's cinema. You even had time to stare at the ceiling, thinking about how you don't have time. See the problem? You do have time. You're just not using it right. Let's do the math. You have 24 hours in a day. Say you sleep for 8, if you're lucky, spend another 8 at work or college, and take 2 hours to eat and exist. That still leaves 6 hours. Now ask yourself, what are you actually doing with them? If you can't answer without stuttering, well, there's your problem. We live in an era where you can learn literally anything for free, or close to it. Want to start a business? There are tutorials, templates, even AI tools that practically walk you through the process. Want to get in shape? There are apps, YouTube channels, and entire communities to keep you accountable. Thinking of picking up a new skill? Platforms like Coursera, Skillshare, and even TikTok, if you're following the right creators, have you covered. So why are you still using your phone to scroll aimlessly instead of using it to level up? Why are you not clicking subscribe on something that actually benefits you? Technology isn't the enemy. You are. Your phone is a tool. But if you treat it like a toy, it'll treat you like a joke. That said, even the best tools are useless without a plan. And that brings us to the next point: systems. Saying, "I want to save money" is cute, but what's your actual plan? Are you tracking expenses? Automating savings? Or are you just hoping your bank account surprises you like a pop quiz on a Monday morning? The same goes for fitness, learning, relationships, everything. Goals are meaningless without systems. Systems are what make you show up on the days you don't feel like it. They're the boring routines that actually get results. The meal preps, the study schedules, the workout plans. They're what separate the people who achieve from the people who just talk about achieving. And while we're at it, let's talk about the grind, and why you need to embrace it. Embracing the grind. Most of what leads to success isn't exciting. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's waking up early to work out when you'd rather sleep. It's saying no to plans so you can study. It's putting in effort when no one's clapping for you. The grind isn't supposed to feel good, it's supposed to feel necessary. The sooner you stop expecting every step to be fun, the sooner you'll start seeing results. But grinding doesn't have to mean doing things the old-fashioned way. Times have changed. Opportunities are everywhere, and if you're paying attention, you'll see them. And speaking of massive opportunities, we're living in the most resource-rich era in history. There's no excuse for being stagnant or uninformed. Want to make more money? There are countless ways to do it. Want to learn coding, public speaking, singing, dancing, drawing, editing, animating, writing, talking to people, or even just going outside more? Free tutorials exist for all of it. You want to get better at something? Google it. Even if the first thing you find isn't perfect, you'll still learn something. Do you see the problem now? You're not struggling because of a lack of opportunities, you're struggling because you're not grabbing them. And no, scrolling through motivational content isn't the same as actually taking action. You might be watching this video or reading this advice, but are you doing anything with it? Stop being a passive consumer of inspiration. Start being an active participant in your own life. A lot of people avoid real action because they're obsessed with this idea of balance. You've been sold the dream that you can perfectly balance work, life, growth, and rest. But let's be real, it's not that easy. And honestly, it's overrated. If you really want something, you have to let other things slide. That doesn't mean burning yourself out, but it does mean prioritizing like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. You're not going to achieve your goals by squeezing them into the cracks of your schedule. They need to be front and center, not an afterthought. And to do that, you need to answer one big question. Am I really trying? Because it's easy to say you're trying. But are you really? Or are you just dabbling? Commitment to change. There's a difference between effort and consistent effort. One might get you short-term results, if that. The other changes your life. Be honest with yourself. If you're not where you want to be, is it because the world is against you? Or is it because you're not fully locked in? Are you because you're the lamest? Or are you the lamest because you're you? You can't half commit and expect full results. I'm not saying this as someone who's perfect, because I'm not. But I can confidently say I'm the best version of myself that I've ever been. And a big part of that is because I stopped waiting for life to hand me success and started forcing it. So here's my question, if I could do that, why can't you? I mean, you and I. We're probably not that different. Look, this isn't some feel-good speech. It's a wake-up call. A reminder. I'm not going to end this by saying something cheesy like, you've got this, because honestly, you might not have this. That's up to you. But what I will say is this, if you decide to really lock in, 2025 won't be another year of next year will be my year, for real this time. It'll be the year you say, this year is mine. Conclusion. The world isn't going to fix itself for you. Yeah, it's gray and colorless, and that sucks. But you're smart. You're strong. You're adaptable. And most of all, you're a cutie pie or great boy. You can fix yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that'll bring a little color back into everything else, too. So, are you in? Or are we having this same conversation next year? I mean, you tell me.